Hi, this is Carl from Technomad, and this is a quick video tour of the web interface of the Technomad Superconductor, which is a military hardware device that plays and records audio. And what makes the superconductor especially useful, among other things, is that it can play sounds on a schedule that you set, as well as playing sounds instantly on demand. What we're looking at here is the web interface of the superconductor. So if you have a superconductor, you can configure it using the LCD screen and the knob on the device, but that can involve a whole lot of adjusting and scrolling through things. So a better way to go, if you have a laptop computer, is connect it to the superconductor, and you can call up the web interface of the superconductor and configure the device using your web browser, which is a lot more convenient. So what I'm going to do is walk us through the different tabbed pages of the superconductor's interface. Now the first page we're defaulting to, that we first arrive at, is the status tab. And you can see down here we can set how often this refreshes: 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And here we have the classic US DoD computer system warning. Gives the current time, the master volume of the device, and whether we're using a time server or not. From here, I can go to the other tabs and configure things. Let's go to Settings, and we're asked for a username and password. Leave the username blank, and the default password for the superconductor is just 4 zeros. So 4 zeros is the default password for a superconductor, and if you've left your device set to that password, you should change it, because it's not a secret. Now let's go to the next tab. This is the Control tab. Now there is a remote control option where you can trigger the superconductor to do various things using CGI commands sent to its IP address. And you can enable this or you can actually lock that out. So that's just an aside there. You can also lock the front knob out. So if you have this installed in a data center or in a public accessible place, maybe you don't want to have local staff be able to do anything via the front knob and screen. So if you want to lock them out, you click this button here, and then it's really just a static device that only plays sounds from its internal schedule or via remote control and can't be locally controlled by users. Now the superconductor can assign up to 99 sounds to the front knob and screen for quick access. These might be siren sounds or music or sound effects, whatever you want to have for quick access on the front knob and screen of the superconductor. You can assign up to 99 of those. And right from this interface, remotely or via the web, you can actually select any one of these, and you're okay. This looks like let's see. Here's sound 21, knob position 21. And this will play the bugle call that we've loaded, which is the call to mess. And if I were to click this play excuse me, button here, you would play that sound one time. On the other hand, if I want to play that continuously and loop it, if I click play now, it'll play this sound with the loop mode indefinitely until I hit stop. Now, aside from the sounds that are assigned to the knob positions, there's an entire library of sounds that you may have loaded into the device, and you can select any one of those sounds and play them. So this is a nice way both to for someone over a network or locally to play sounds from the unit's library of loaded sounds. And you can also use this for if you need to play a sound at a remote location and you had network access to the superconductor, you could do that too. You can also examine the recording status of the device, and you can actually even remotely pick a knob location and trigger recording of live audio to that knob location. So this is pretty nice because it allows someone in a command center to trigger remote recording of sound into the superconductor. Now, a basic function of the superconductor is that it can store a whole bunch of MP3s and of course use them in scheduled and on-demand playback. Now this tab here, the MP3 tab, shows a current listing of all the sounds that are in the device, and it also shows you if they're in use or not. If the sound is in use, which means it might be assigned to a knob for instant access, it might be used in a schedule for automatic playback, or both. And if that's the case, you'll see right here this is set to in use, which means you can't delete it. You have to go and remove the sound from a knob assignment or remove the sound from a schedule before it lets you delete the sound, because obviously it's needed. Now these other sounds like master tilde 1 or these other ones, they're available to be deleted, and if I click on any one of these, it will in fact delete this MP3 file from the device. In the same way, I can browse to my local computer's hard drive, select an MP3 file, and upload it. And you'll be uploading that sound to the superconductor either locally, or if it could be across the world if you're connected to the device through the internet. So this allows you to do remote content management of the content on that hardware device, on the superconductor. And this is a really great feature. One note about naming. The MP3 files must be named in 8.3 naming convention, which means you have up to 8 characters, A through Z, 0 through 9, asterisk, other standard characters, and then a dot, and then we recommend .mp3. So you can name a sound an 8-character name, the period, and then .mp3. Longer names, or Vista XP type names that can be 24 characters long, won't work. So before you try to upload your songs, make sure you've shortened the name of the file to be 8 characters .mp3. So that's the MP3 upload and management tab. And now we have the knob. So that's the MP3 upload and management tab. And now we have the knob assignment tab. Now again, this is related to the sounds that are assigned to the physical knob on the front of the superconductor that you want to have quick access to. So for example, you can look at this and see that knob position 1 has assigned the sound siren_yelp. And you can see, by the way, that this is just 8 characters long, SR_yelp. This is how we name our sound files, so we can tell this is a siren and which type of siren it is. You can also see a mode, a play mode here. And you notice that for all these different knob locations, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, you can have different play modes. You can have the mode of looping, so that if sound knob position 1 is played, then this MP3 will play and loop until somebody hits the play button a second time. That is to say, depresses the knob a second time to stop playback. On the other hand, if you look at this file here, number 14, which is taps, that's going to play with once mode, meaning that it'll play one time and stop, because obviously you don't want a lot of music to play more than once unless you play it a second time manually. And there's also a mode called push. Over here, sound 40 is a sound effect. It's a 50 caliber weapon, and this will play the sound only while the knob of the button on the superconductor is pressed in for a second. So you can actually perform weapon signatures or other music if they're assigned push mode, and you can actually intermittently play that sound by just pushing and holding the button on the front of the device for brief periods of time. Now right here, I could change something. I could say, you know what, knob position 1, I want to make that, let's say, a different siren. Or let's go to, I'll pick the siren wail, and I'll say that I want knob position 1 to be siren wail with mode once. And if I go to set, now you'll see right here, I've changed the sound assigned to knob position 1. So this is a very easy and convenient way for you to manage what sounds are available to somebody who just walks up to the superconductor, grabs the knob, and wants to play something. You can put the high priority, got to get to it quick sounds down in the low knob positions, and less frequently used stuff in some of the later, deeper positions on the device. Now if we're moving on to the scheduler tab, this is a great feature. The superconductor is unique in giving you the ability to play sounds quickly on demand, and also to have sounds play automatically on a schedule use set. So let's say I want to play a sound, and let's set up a new one here. Okay, I'm going to have the sound, let's say Reveille, play, and I'm going to play it on every day, which is to say daily. Now this is interesting. You can pick which sound you want from your library. You can pick specific days that you want this sound to play on. Let's say January 1st, 2010, I could play a sound. But instead of that, I'm going to skip this. I'm going to play it daily. So every single day, Reveille will play. Of course, I could set this to play just on specific weekdays, or days of the week, I should say, or on work days, typically Monday through Friday, or weekends. Okay, so let's pick daily. All right, and we'll do this at 0600. So there it is, and we'll have it play just the one time, and we'll set the task. So there it is, our first element in the schedule. Now let's say until noon we want to have a safety message play. So let's say that we'll go up here and pick some sound. Let's say this test.mp3. Perhaps that's an announcement saying, please be cautious, there's a test in progress. Okay, and we want to have that play also daily. Now let's make it work days. And we'll have that start at 0900, and we'll have it go to 10 o'clock. Now let's make it 10:15, and we'll have that message play every 10 minutes. And because this is an important message, we'll have repeat, so it'll play twice in a row. Now I'm going to set task. So as you can see, I'm building up a schedule of events, and I can then say, oh, let's do another one. Let's say the base commander's favorite song is Babylon Sisters, and we'll have this play on the commander's birthday, which is July 6th, and we'll have that happen 2010, and we'll have that happen at noon, and we'll do it 10 times in a row. Okay, so you can see again that we've created a third element, or third row of our schedule. And by the way, you can move these up and down in priority. Why would you need to do this? Well, if there are conflicts between, say, a task that happens every day and some other task that happens just on one or a lower priority day, the one that's higher in the pile, like right now, the task number 1 will win if there's a conflict between it and lower priority tasks. So if I want to make sure that something happens, like I definitely want Babylon Sisters to play, excuse me, at this day, I'm sorry, Reveille to play. Sound 1 is Reveille. Then it's going to be priority 1. If I thought this one, row 3, Babylon Sisters, should play every day, I would actually move it up in the schedule as I just did, and you can see now that it's the top priority song or sound. So if there's a conflict, it will play and it'll override anything below it in the pile. So, and again, you can delete elements. Let's take this test warning away. I delete it. I hit OK, etc. So schedule creation and management is very, very simple using the superconductor. And it allows you to have a robust device. It's no moving parts. It's embedded system, virus-proof, extremely reliable for you to run base operations or training operations on an automatic schedule, because of course you could have sound effects or atmospheric recordings be part of the schedule as well. Useful for PSYOPs, all kinds of things. And this automatic playback is simply done with this superconductor hardware device. It does not require a computer to execute the playback. And as we discussed, we also have the ability to have instant access from the front knob, and the knob set button lets you configure that. You can, using the MP3 tab, upload and delete and rename your library of sounds. You can configure control of the device and a variety of other things from the control tab, and basic settings are configured here, including network, time sync, password, and other things. And finally, the status page, which is not password protected, allows you to see the current condition of the unit. So that's the tour of the superconductor web interface. Of course, contact Technomad Military Customer Care with your questions, and we're here to help you apply the product in any way you need help with. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to supporting your mission.